Hello everyone, this is Austin from Raw Bliss. I wanted to talk today about protein, iron, and B12. Can you get these from plant-based sources, or are they only found in animal products? Now, a lot of people think, when they think B12, they think meat. Like you can only get it from meat, eggs, fish, whatever it is. This actually is not true. B12 comes from bacteria that's synthesized in our gut. So we actually make our own B12 from bacteria. The problem these days is people are getting produce that's sprayed, and then they wash the produce. They're actually washing away the B12, the bacteria, from the dirt in the soil. And, this is creating a problem because we need this bacteria in order to stay healthy, in order to strengthen our immune system. There's, good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. And when you're using these antibacterial soaps, you're getting rid of both. You're getting rid of the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. And it's upsetting the gut microbiome. Even if you just use it on your hands, it's absorbed into your skin. So I try to avoid antibacterials. Bacteria is good. There's no reason we need to be antibacterial. I had my blood work done about a year ago, and they said my B12 levels were normal on a fruitarian diet, and I was getting organic fruits and vegetables, which were not sprayed, with the skin on, and then you eat the skin. It's fairly simple, but you have to address the gut issues first. If you have gut issues, you need to cleanse your gut, do some work, get on a healthy diet, and yeah. So the next one's iron. Iron is another one that has to do with malabsorption. We need vitamin C in order to absorb iron. If we don't have sufficient vitamin C, it doesn't matter how much iron, for example, if you get it in red meats, it doesn't matter how much iron we're getting. We're not going to absorb it properly. And the same with B12. If you're taking B12 in the source of your animals or a supplement or whatever, it's not going to be absorbable for you if you have the gut problems. So vitamin C is key in iron. And also fruits and vegetables have small amounts of iron in them. In almost all of them. It's not it's not only in animal foods. Protein. Oh, the big P. Protein. So, yes, animals have a lot of protein. When you eat the meat, you get a lot of protein. Do we need a lot of protein? No, not necessarily. We thrive best, at least in my experience, I can only speak on my experience, on a low protein, low fat, high carb diet. When you have too much protein, it's actually toxic to your kidneys. Too much protein, it can cause heart disease, clogging of the arteries. It's not good to get a lot of protein. We just need a little bit. And the reason that these animal foods have protein in them is because the animals eat plants which contain amino acids. Our preferred source of protein is amino acids. Our body can make its own protein from these amino acids. And actually, our body can't utilize protein as well as amino acids. So it's actually better to go straight to the source rather than using a middleman for your protein. Go to the fruits and vegetables. If you eat enough, you're going to get your protein. Every single fruit and vegetable has protein. If you really want to go hard on the protein, you can do some avocado, durian, vegetables, spinach, greens, dark leafy greens, kale. But we don't need a lot of protein. It's not necessary to be healthy. There's no reason. Like, who's protein deficient? Who's walking around protein deficient? What's wrong with them? No one's protein deficient. If anything, we're carb deficient. We should be focusing more on carbs to get energy, because that's our primary fuel source for our brain, our preferred fuel source. Of course, our brain has evolved over time with many different diets, so we can adapt. We can use things like keto, for example. We can use fats. We can, we can live long times on high-fat diets because we had that time in our evolution, on that time period. But we also had a time of eating primarily fruits before we left the jungle and started cooking food. So I just wanted to share my views with you guys. Please experiment for yourself. Tell me what's worked. I plan on having another blood test soon. They're a lot cheaper here than in the States. I paid $300 back home, and absolutely ridiculous. Lost the paperwork, so I don't have any proof. But there are other fruitarians out there who have released their blood work. Fit Shorty Eats is one of them. I believe Ted Carr. A lot of times the blood work comes back excellent. There's no reason you can't. There's nothing in meat you can't get from plants. That's necessary for the human body. In fact, more detriment to the human body to eat meat. It's more of a survival food than a food that's going to help us thrive and evolve as a species. It's a fallback food. Like a lot of these foods, we're so stuck in survival mind state rather than what's going to be optimal for us. What's going to make us the healthiest version of ourselves, our greatest version. All these processed wheats. I think wheat is the worst, honestly, like even more than dairy and meat. Wheat is one of the most toxic substances known to man. It contains so much fluoride, and it's one of the most heavily sprayed crops by Monsanto. Corn is up there too. Corn, we can't digest corn, and it's like 90% of it is genetically modified, sprayed by Monsanto. I'm not going to go into the whole Monsanto thing, but wheat, corn, I think these things should be avoided at all costs, no matter what you choose to eat. You don't need wheat, corn. Try to get, if you eat meat, try to get grass-fed. That's what the animal is supposed to eat in the first place, rather than eating something not designed for them. And obviously they're going to get disease too from eating things that aren't designed for them. We should try to eat our species-specific diet as much as possible. Now, we can be omnivorous by necessity. Like when things get tough, you're living in an environment that's not tropical. We're living in an unnatural environment. Some people need to eat meat. Some people need that extra fat, that extra layer that protein gives you, that, gets swole. So everything has its place. And yeah, that's it for this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Let me know if you like my little ramblings. I know I can get off topic sometimes, but I'm really passionate about this stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace and love.